Hello everybody, welcome to this tutorial where we're going to design some kind of space race formula vehicle. And yeah, I lost my intro music, my intro sound. So yeah, I kind of had to improvise there. I'm not sure if that was not sure if that was cool. Um, anyway, let's start off with this rough sketch of a some kind of interplanetary, well, not interplanetary, but those races, they maybe take place on a different planet, and these are like floating drifter craft, so they can hover on the water and deserts and all kinds of difficult environments. Perhaps they can also fly. I was not really thinking too much about the design, but the main goal was to um, look at nature. So I was looking at some birds like the falcon and a kestrel and eagles. And I also took some reference from existing craft. But altogether, I wanted to give it a slightly different layout where I place the cockpit more the central focal point, which is the cockpit, on a more in the back of the design, and then give the design flow a certain spear-like feeling where we give it a very long frontal aspect, like a very long frontal look, which gives it a very sharp um, looking design, I guess. So, the reason why I wanted to share this with you guys is because I'm also testing out some new, well, not really new, but I'm testing out a fast way to design and to give my designs color. Now, because these are sporty designs, I wanted to really emphasize on the use of color with this design. So the color is very strong and pronounced, almost, it looks like almost it's very stylistic, perhaps. But I did it on purpose. I really wanted to catch the viewer, the attention of the viewer of this design. The secondary aspect of the design is the strength of the color, and that is a challenge. That is something that I really struggled when I started design. Like in the early days when I was a concept artist, I figured out how to maybe come up with decent looking cool shapes. But when it came to rendering, I was very monotone with my coloring. And so this is a very nice exercise of, well, let's not limit myself to make serious, gritty looking military vehicles. But, you know, when you design a vehicle like this, which is all about sport and race and speed and entertainment, they will use color and they will use cool decals. And just like you see in the Formula One races, you know, if you like look up like Monaco Formula One racers, and they have like all these kinds of cool banners around the car. And like you look at the Red Bull Racer events, which I also inspired, which inspired me to do this. You see very nice, strong, pronounced colors, and for me, it really attracts the viewer. Not only is design cool, but the use of color. And so when I render a vehicle, I tend to spend quite some hours to design it and to render it. Now, I wanted to um, make a design, color it, but not spend a lot of hours rendering it out with all the lighting and proper shading and everything. So what I did is, well, I did made a decent looking sketch, which took me like 50 minutes. And then I try it out to give it a quick color pass. Usually when I give it a quick color pass, I just do it in value, black and white, just to give the design more volume. But since color is very important in those designs, and I wanted to maintain speed as a main factor in order to make a lot of these designs like in a day. I came up like with a with an in-between solution where I do my best to pronounce the colors, to render them a little bit out where necessary, but I keep the line drawing intact. So usually when I render till I can get rid of the line drawing, which is a proper render, because you don't need to rely on your line drawing, but you render it out till you don't need the line drawing. And that takes some time, you know, if you want to rely completely on light, if you want to define all the shapes that you designed, if you want them to make them all rely on lighting, then if you want to do it properly, then you have to do it until you don't need the line drawing. Now with this one is um, very basic. I give it a very basic value fill of the main color, which you will see later on. And then I will give it a very simple pass, a very simple light and shade pass. And yeah, I wanted to share it with you guys so I can maybe encourage you to maybe try the same, you know. I like designing in a lot of methods, quick sketches, value silhouette sketches, exploring 3D, but these kind of methods are still the fastest for me personally. I have the total freedom design-wise, creativeness-wise. I can draw and sketch what I want. I am totally free. I'm not bound into any limitations, nothing. Sometimes it feels like cheating because when I model and I see what I want to remodel what I drew, it sometimes doesn't work. Um, um, but in this case, we're just exploring and it doesn't need to be super, super tight. So design was really here the main point, of course. But the second aspect of the design was to pronounce the colors. You know, colors give us a certain feeling about something. When something is blue, it usually gives us a calm, cool feeling. When something is red, it can, well, point to something out or to give away some kind of aggressiveness or speed or hot temperature, for example. Colors really are a state of how you're supposed to feel about something. You know, when you look at nature, a lot of creatures that have yellow markings, like fish, are usually poisonous. So, you know, that is an example. And yeah, so let's see where we're heading. Let's maybe talk a little bit about how I how I'm doing this. This is very based on my earlier tutorials. Like the design itself is nothing different from what I do usually. So very rough sketch, which you saw me doing, and then on top of that, find a line drawing, which we are covering now. So the video is sped up like 4 times, 4.5 times. So everything is squeezed down to 25 minutes. Yeah, I didn't want to take this too long since I have a couple of detailed videos already, but maybe I will cover if you know the interest is like high enough of this video, then I make a follow-up design. You know, if this is kind of stuff that you'd like to see, maybe I can do like a more detailed render with a proper environment around it and make like a proper tutorial so you can watch it. And yeah, and this is like more of a walkthrough, you know. Um, I guess I'm not sharing after this point now, I'll be not sharing too much information, I guess, because this is really straightforward. What the most important is, of course, um, the thing that I was experimenting with. It's you'll see me doing color, but I will keep the line drawing intact. It's just to give it color, to give it a basic shape. And at some areas, I will get rid of the line drawing, but that will be really on the most focal points or on some details that I want to pronounce with light. or how light will affect the surface, certain parts of the surface. But that automatically gives you a feeling of that the rest of design is detailed. You know, you see a lot of paintings um, from a lot of good artists that are really good in simplifying things, where you think the detail is distributed the same way overall, but when you look at the image and study it from up close and take a look for a couple of minutes, you see that the artist spent some time in focal points where it's needed, where the eye leads the most, and then the stuff on the side of the canvas, or like the stuff that is put more into shadow, is of less detail. And this gives also a very nice energetic feeling about a painting or a design or uh, whatever you're making. And this is something that I wanted to try out here as well. So here we seeing doing the basic value, which most of the time I'm trying to figure out that this will already be my local color. And then later on I will give it a secondary color, and from there on you'll be seeing me doing some light and shade um, on top of that. So yeah. I can see something in a shot of a shark. I think it's the back wing at the rear that gives me a very shark-like feeling. And I started to have that feeling when I started to give this design a color pass. Um, and this is the thing, color and value really sometimes change the perception of how I perceive things. Sometimes when I only have a line drawing, it has a different feeling and a different look than when I start coloring it, because the shapes they pop out, they're more visible, they stand out more. Uh, and it's always, I guess, a good idea that if you think that the design is worth exploring, then it is good to, yeah, give that necessary pass to in order for your design to stand out more. Not saying that only line drawings are bad, but it's just a personal preference, I guess. I personally like line drawings also a lot. I have them in my portfolio. I show them also to clients because it's still the fastest way to for me to interpret things and to come up with fast variations. But color like this and value really make the forms pop out. 3D software can also help you a lot with that. And a proper render tool can already figure out the lighting for you, you know. But of course, for all beginning artists, I do encourage you to uh, have understanding of how light works. You know, bounce lights are usually warmer. When a surface is hit by direct light, it's usually a bit desaturated. Um, how shadow works, etc., etc. This is pretty much a very basic light setting. The light is coming somewhere from the top, and I introduce some basic ambient lighting, which you see me doing with the blue hues on the back of the craft, you know. So these are the places that are exposed to the sky, but are not being hit directly by the sunlight, and thus they catch lighting from the sky, which gives them a blue-like appearance. And that always gives me a fresh, nice 3D look when it comes to rendering um, vehicles. When you look when you just you have to be a key thing is to be an observer as well. When you walk outside, take a look at cars in nice weather. They also have this specular lighting going on where the sun is hitting them the most, but then they also have a lot of blue hues going on around corners, around edges. You'll see blue reflections of the sky, and of course all other reflections as well, reflections of the street, bounce lights, etc., etc. Very reflective materials are very hard to render without proper reference, in my opinion. This one is like semi-reflective, like it is shiny, but it's not super reflective, as these some cars are like really shiny and glossy. So this is not what I'm trying to imitate here. Plus, maybe it is the case, but in order to keep things simple, I'm not going into reflection that much. So you see me just here playing with the contrast and the values of how light the color is, and I keep it dark in the shadows, and I bring up the color into a lighter tone where I think the sun will hit the area the most, right? Which gives us a basic, nice three-dimensional feeling. It's in the end, it's all an illusion. So yeah. Now I've been looking at animals before doing these designs. I looked at like I said, the falcon-like birds the most, and the kestrel, and I made two designs in the end. This is the second one. The first one can be found on, if you visit my ArtStation or Facebook, they will be somewhere. And I think I will post this on Gumroad as well. Well, you'll be able to find the PSDs files that were all involved in this tutorial, as well as in the mood board that I used for reference. So you'll find there the animals that I used as reference and other hardware vehicles from this world, like the Red Bull plane, some jets, etc. So. And yeah, just tagging along, making sure the details also pop out. But I still really heavily keep relying on the line drawing. I don't want to spend too much time. So in real time, the line drawing, designing the rough shape and the detailed line drawing on top was like an hour, and then when you do this like this quick render, it took like another hour, maybe a little bit more, because I did some decals around it. And the reason why I'm saying that is not to tell you how important it is or something, how slow or fast I am, but it gives me a nice overview of how many of these designs I can do per week or per day. And it also gives me an overview like, okay, what could I do to even make it perhaps faster, even though I'm quite happy with the output, because that gives me, well, I could potentially make 7 of these a day, which is, I think, quite efficient. I'm very free in my ideation here. I'm not relying on any um, heavy rendering software. It's just Photoshop. I sketch free in my mind, and I give it a nice color pass, and that's it. And it's also to give you maybe a nice comparison, because I know when I was starting out, I really wanted to know how long it takes a person. And please don't compare yourself. Like, if you're even faster, it's like amazing. If you're slower, it doesn't matter. It's all right. It's all about progression. If you do it a lot, you'll become faster. But I thought it is cool to share it, so where I'm at. And you can share below, because I'll be sharing this on my YouTube as well. You can tell me, because I'm very curious about how long this takes you. Are there perhaps faster methods? Because I know some people are very quick in exploring things in 3D, um, and also maybe you have some better sketching methods. Please feel free. We're all learning here kind of together, you know. This is this is this is why I do it, because I like sharing my knowledge and I like to receive knowledge in return, and this is how we progress together. Yeah. Now I forgot to make the exhaust on the other side. So you saw me doing like a very quick line sketch of that, render it out very quickly, and so it just looks plausible, you know. Like these renders are not great. It's just acceptable for just a concept, you know. Very strong saturated colors. I have to admit that. Don't know if it's that good, but it's just again experimenting of how colors can sometimes pronounce things and change things. Um, this already feels so much different than the sketch alone, you know. Like I see the forms without any values anyway because it's my design, so I know what the forms are even if I kept the line drawing. But once I start coloring it, things start to pop out that I even didn't see because I just simply rely on how light will work on these surfaces, and then sometimes things appear and then I think, oh, this sucks. Or I think the opposite, like, oh, this is cool. Like when you start to render things, areas of rest start to pop out more, like the panels here around the engine, and areas of complexity also start to pop out more. Because if you have a plain line sketch on a light background, everything looks a little bit messy and complex, and it gives a cool feeling, but it's not a true, it's not a true shape. You know, it's just like a blueprint or something. And I don't know if you guys know what I exactly mean, but take perhaps a look at real life examples. You know, look up blueprints of real life vehicles. Take a look at the line drawings of them, the blueprints, the mechanical, technical, documented drawings of them, and then look at the real thing. And then you will really see like the areas of rest and areas of complexity really stand out more once a design is presented with its volume. And this is the goal here, to present the design with a volume, present the design with color, so it has a certain feeling, uh, add some details to increase a little bit of the complexity to make it more tasty, to complement it with secondary colors. And that all overall gives a very nice sporty look, something that is very important for the sake of this design. That's why I wanted to experiment with things with, okay, you know, I always make line drawings, and if I want to keep it fast, I keep it a line drawing, but most of my vehicles are military or very serious. But what if I want to pronounce the feeling that, okay, this is something else. This is sporty, it's for competitiveness use, it's recreation, it's entertainment. I really want to give the uh, give the feeling and give the viewer a nice attraction point. And I thought using color would be a nice way, but do it in a fast way, not render it all out, just give it a nice quick pass. And yeah, that was the goal here. Um, I'm semi satisfied with them. You know, might do some more in the future. Also, entirely depends on you guys. You know, if you want to see more, if you want to see some more evolvements of this design, I can maybe make some more of them. Maybe I can make a final one where I just make a mix of them and bring one of them to a very proper finish with a nice, good, proper render. Yeah, that might be perhaps cool. I don't know. So yeah, giving here some final decal passes. I thought the white line really gives it a nice complements to a nice complex look. Not too complex, of course, but I felt like the whole red area was just too big, maybe. So I broke it down with this white line. and it certainly gives even a more sporty look, in my opinion. So yeah, never underestimate color, guys, and color distribution. It really helps with selling a design. Uh, so I guess that is something that we all learn, that I've learned certainly from this. Never underestimate the importance of color. Other than that, I would like to thank you guys. If there are any questions, please let me know. I will try to reply to everybody. And links to social media, etc., will be posted below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the support that I've been receiving from you guys. And well, you guys are the reason that I keep on making these videos, and I really want them to make it a more uh, make them on a more frequent basis, because I've been off the grid for a while, but I really want to change that. So I keep these videos spontaneous. It's not a super structured way of doing them, but I want to do them every week or every 2 weeks. I really enjoy doing them, and thanks again. Have a good one. Have a good day or evening, and I'll see you guys next time.